everyone, it's SUHASHANI here and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're good, I hope you're well and that life is bliss. So in today's video, it is a poetry one. It is a poem. This holds a special place. I feel like any piece that I write, it is a part of me, I think, as a writer slash poet. Your words are a part of you, a part of your soul, and you just want to share that in hopes that it helps anyone out there. Well, that is my purpose when it comes to writing poems. So yeah, every piece is special, but I feel as though I need to emphasize how special this one is because it is a turning point. It is a turning point piece where something clicks, something really changes in terms of the energy of my soul when I was writing this, and just my mind, and really putting what I want first and how I want to live and what is important to me. So I hope through this poem, anyone out there who really needs to hear it, who feels a bit lost, who feels a bit swayed by others, who feel as though their life in somewhat shape or form is being dictated by other people, and to really have a physical, mental restart of putting themselves first, of creating their own narrative. This piece is pretty much for you. So I hope you enjoy, and let's get started. Before we get into the poem, feel free to grab a cheeky cuppa. I definitely say this in a lot of my poetry videos, if not all. I like to create a nice cozy vibe, so definitely grab a nice warm cuppa. Today's choice is peppermint green tea. So yeah, let's get started. Cheers. I don't know why I'm using my Christmas cup still. I think it's just because I really love it. Okay, let's begin. Champion the crashing waters. Oh darling, it is not for others to sail your ship, nor you sail theirs. You must dictate its direction and navigate across the vast sea. The universe, she will guide in her winds, but you must champion the crashing waters and its creatures. Sail in a manner where nothing will break the ship or its character. So that is championing the crashing waters. When I post a poem on my Instagram, I like to now include a caption, just a little bit of detail in terms of my point of view when writing the poem as the poet, and what I really want the reader or the person reading essentially to kind of grasp or connect with, because obviously the beauty with poetry is it's down to interpretation, and any poem you read out there, or any words really, quotes, it is really down to what connects with you as the reader, and it's very much subjective. But as the poet, I always want to kind of create, and this is exactly why I do my videos, and also write more of an in-depth caption on my Instagram, is because I want to really let it known where I'm coming from, the thoughts behind writing, what I was feeling, thinking, and how essentially the inspiration that I had to really put these words on a piece or create it as a poem. So, and I just think it gives a little bit of a helping hand for someone reading to really understand, okay, what's the message, instead of it being open air. But sometimes when I do write my poems, I will intentionally leave it open air, and obviously the caption or the video or the spoken word will come across in that way. But yeah, enough of me waffling on. Champion the crashing waters. This piece is a special one because I wrote it at a time where I felt low and lost in life. I felt uncertain about myself and placed opinions at the forefront of my mind. Champion the crashing waters is about stepping up and believing in yourself for real. Taking ownership of your whole self and accepting responsibility over your words and actions. It is facing adversities with your head held high. A champion. No one dictates your direction and no one chooses your path. I use words such as crashing waters and its creatures to reflect what is to come and what it takes to become a champion. I feel this poem will carry weight to those who need to hear these words, to take comfort in knowing others experience the same challenges. A reminder that nothing will break you or your character. As Chipmunk would say, build the foundation with the bricks they throw. Opinions ain't facts. Take 'em in and let 'em go. And now what we're going to do, as usual, is go line by line, word for word. So I start off by saying, oh darling, it is not for others to sell your ship, nor you sell theirs. And there isn't really one explanation as to why I started it this way. What I had visually in my mind was a conversation between two really close friends, and the person saying oh darling is essentially maybe an older figure or more of the wiser friend, and is just sitting down in conversation with the person who needs to hear it, and is kind of giving them a reality check, being like, hey, you do know it's really not anyone's business or what their opinion is on what you're doing or how you are, or you know, where you're going and what your purpose is, and it really isn't for them to be involved, nor is it for you to direct or dictate anyone else and have such a strong opinion with how someone else lives their life or what their purpose is. I caveat because, you know, this is the understanding that we're spreading positivity and there's no negativity, and either or parties in the line, you know, that there is nothing, there's no ill intent, and it's all about positivity here. So I'm just caveating that. Obviously if someone is doing something really awful, as a friend, it is obviously vital that you give them the pep talk that they need to kind of course correct, or you know, give them the help that they need. And then I go into saying you must dictate its direction and navigate across the vast sea. And I essentially am reiterating from what the older motherly, sisterly figure is saying to the friend in conversation, and it's pretty much self-explanatory. It is saying, hey, you're the person in charge. It is your life, how you want to live, what you want to do, and what your purpose is. It is only for you to dictate. Of course, you can take people's opinions on board in terms of your inner circle, or those you value and you trust the words that they say are, you know, for your own well-being and for the good of your success, etc. But it really is down to you to make the decisions and to really navigate this journey that we call life. And the way that the imagery that I'm using here is obviously the sea, and navigating with a ship and across the vast sea and crashing waters, and we'll get onto that later, but essentially that's the picture that I'm putting in my head when I was writing. And part of navigating and living life is no one's perfect. You don't have everything figured out straight away, and if anything, you never really do. You just learn as the lessons come. You learn from your mistakes and you improve and you better yourself and you essentially grow. And that's what I'm kind of putting, is navigating across the vast sea. It is your ownership, it is your life. No one is living your life for you, and you aren't living anyone else's life. The world you see with these, and you are the only person who can see it through these connected to your mind. No one can really see it. The universe, she will guide in her winds, but you must champion. And the idea behind this is, as someone who does believe in the universe being her own energy and touches upon spirituality, if there's anything out there that I feel like subtly, okay, the world is telling me to consciously go through this way, or to actually act on that. Yeah, there are times personally where I think I need to make a decision, or I feel as though I'm being dictated some way in a positive way, or reiterates or re-emphasizes what I'm thinking and feeling already, and I just needed a sign, or I just needed someone to communicate something, and it just clicks. For me, that's the universe coming into play and reading off her energy. So the way that I use this imagery is you're in this massive, magnificent ship and you're navigating across the vast sea. It's endless. Also, you're not afraid of the sea, you're not afraid of the ocean, you don't have that phobia at all. This is just how I'm kind of relaying life. So coming back to that, the wind, you can't see her other than Mother Nature, but you can feel her presence, you can sense her, and you can hear her, and this comes across through the wind and through feeling your ship being pushed along the way ever so subtly with the wind. So for me, that's the universe directing or guiding or giving a helpful hand, or that positive reassurance that you might need when you're feeling a bit undecisive, or when you're at the crossroad between two roads and you just don't know which path to take, or you're looking out for signs or symbols, or even not actually looking out for them, but subtly something coincidentally happens during your day and you're just like, oh. So for me, that's the universe, you know, in her wind, she will guide. But at the end of the day, it is for you to be able to go through the challenges, to go through the hardships, to really go through and learn and pick yourself up and make mistakes and grow from them. So that follows, I hope, nicely to, but you must champion the crashing waters and its creatures. Because I think the best way I could try and re-emphasize the points that I'm saying is, let's say you have a goal to, I don't know, let's say you have a goal to do something. I don't want to really say anything specific, I just want to say something really general. So let's say you have a goal to do something, and you can actually, right now, you can actually think about that goal. Okay, I want to do this goal. I've written it down in my New Year's goals and I've put it on my 2025 vision board. This is a goal that I want to do. Now, if you sit down and you don't act and take steps necessary to create and achieve that goal, nothing is going to happen. If you literally sit down and do nothing and you're kind of stuck in this routine and you just don't do any steps towards contributing to actually putting that goal into fruition, you can't expect the universe or God to help or to give that push you need or to manifest things into place for you, because there's nothing to go on from, because you're not doing anything. So that's kind of the idea and the play that I'm doing with this, is the universe is there and she is there to guide you. She's there to subtly give a nod, to give you some reassurance, to give you a sign, an indication, if you do believe in manifestation, law of attraction, all those things. But essentially, you're the person who has to face the crashing waters, the challenges, the getting back up when you face failures and defeats, and its creatures. And what I mean by creatures, I think I would say the people who may not be supportive towards your goal, people who are doing all of this too much and not really focusing on their own lives, but they're putting their nose into yours. I put that as creatures because that was probably the only word that could come in my mind when it comes to the waves and keeping on with playing with the water analogy in the sea and navigating across the waves. I just thought, okay, creatures. So yeah, that's the best way I can explain it. The last two lines, I feel as though, is a good summary to tie in the poem all together. Is sail in a manner where nothing will break the ship or its character. And that is exactly how I felt after coming to a close with this being a turning point, this being an internal reset that I needed. You just gotta act, you just gotta be, you just gotta carry yourself in a way where no one can invade into your internal. No one can hold or say or have an opinion so much where it really impacts you. You just glide through, you know? And I think that's what's the most important when it comes to creating the life and really achieving your goals and those big dreams that you're probably sitting there just like me and having, and you really want to make into actualization, is you just got to be so certain and so sure and so much belief in you've got the ability, you've got the power, you have the ethic, you really know exactly what you want, and you really want to achieve what you want, and almost just not fazed by anything that does happen, whether that's someone saying an opinion, whether that's facing defeats. You just gotta navigate through. So that is what I'm kind of saying. I say nothing will break the ship or its character, and when I mean ship, essentially that's your whole self as well. That regardless of whatever is happening around you, whatever things you can't control, if things aren't happening your way, or if something is taking a lot more longer to achieve, it can't get to you to the point where you give up, or you're just thinking, okay, actually maybe I'm not cut out for this, or maybe I'm just dreaming so much and it's just above what I'm meant to be living. No. You've put something in your mind, whether that's the universe, whether that's God, or whether that's you as someone who isn't religious, that has come into your mind for a reason, and it's on you to see how it goes and to play it out and to hold on to it with your dear life and just continue on without anyone else interrupting that precious, that sacred way of being and thought process. This in itself could be a sign that you needed, and the reason why I feel like poetry is a beautiful form of writing is it is universal, and it's so subjective and connective to anyone who comes across it, whether that is obviously the poems that I'm writing, but anywhere out there. There is so many out there that have been passed down in generations, and well-known figures such as Rumi, and I really feel like poetry can shape and change people's lives. Genuinely do. And I think it's all about reading the right words or connecting with the right poet and really feeling like you're not on your own. And I think that's the most important thing, is when you are trying to improve yourself, when you are trying to self-grow, or you're trying to achieve goals, or you're trying to be the best version of yourself, it can get lonely in a sense of, let's say you're in a circle where people aren't thinking or feeling the same way, or they don't want the things that you want, or they're being negative towards a goal, then that's a cue to leave that circle or to be friends with similar-minded people. Same thing goes to if you're choosing what you want in life or what you want to do. You might be down a traditional path and you've found a creative goal, or you want to do something where a lot of people are just a bit skeptic, or they're like, could you really do this? So that concludes today's poetry video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope you were able to take something positive, something beneficial, something that will go towards your self-growth journey. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.